He shot a home invader, but would it be legal in New Jersey? In this viral video, a homeowner takes down a masked intruder with one shot. But what if this happened in New Jersey? Would the shooter be justified or jailed? Let's break it down based on New Jersey law, real-world threats, and the lessons I teach every day to responsible gun owners. I'm Steve, retired New Jersey State Trooper, former paramedic, firearms instructor, and author of Defend Confidently. This isn't just about what looks justified, it's about what your state law says and how you will be judged after the fact. New Jersey has some of the most restrictive use of force laws in the country, especially when it comes to defensive gun use inside your home. And unless you understand those details, you could make the biggest mistake of your life, thinking you're the good guy. Let's take a look at this short video clip and then we'll discuss it. I'm not going to show you the intruder getting shot. I'm going to stop it right before that happens. Two masked suspects approach a home. One of them forces open a rear sliding door. A single shot is fired. It's fatal. The second suspect flees. Now here's what I noticed right away. There's a swing set in the yard. This suggests a family lives here, possibly with kids inside. That detail may not seem important, but for a parent or protector, it immediately raises the stakes. But let's step back. We, the viewers, don't know what the homeowner saw. We don't know their vantage point, their level of fear, whether the intruders were armed or just emboldened. And most importantly, neither will a prosecutor. Here's where we get specific to New Jersey. Unlike many states with a broad castle doctrine, New Jersey does not give you automatic legal justification to use deadly force just because someone broke into your home. Instead, under NJSA 2C34 and 2C36, you must meet two criteria. You must reasonably believe that deadly force is immediately necessary, and number two, to protect yourself or another from death or serious bodily injury. Now, there's other factors that go involved with using force and lethal force inside your home in New Jersey. But notice what's missing. There's no automatic, they broke in, I shot, end of story clause. In some states, the mere fact that they broke into your home is enough to establish that there's a threat. In New Jersey, that's not the case. That belief of danger must be reasonable, and you have to articulate why it was. That's why I say sometimes you don't shoot to kill. You shoot to live. And to live free, you need to understand the law. Let me bring this home with two common scenarios I teach in my classes and I've mentioned in my book and also online courses. Number one, the drunk neighbor. He's intoxicated, he stumbles up to your front steps, he opens your unlocked door, maybe he even uses some force and breaks in. He thinks he's at his home, but he's actually in your home. Maybe he falls asleep on the floor, passes out. Maybe you find him sleeping on your couch. Maybe you just come face to face with him. Is it scary? Sure. But unless he's threatening you with death or serious harm, you can't legally shoot him or use deadly force. You are allowed to use a certain amount of force to get that unwanted person out of your house. The question is, can you use deadly force? That depends on whether you perceive a threat, a deadly threat, to death or serious bodily injury. Now, if he's sleeping on your couch, that's one thing. If he goes to go up your stairs and says, I'm going to kill or hurt your kids or your wife, different story. The other example I like to use is a confused elderly man. So he has dementia and he walks into your home during the day. There's no yelling, there's no weapon, he's just confused. In this moment, the law does not justify deadly force, of course. If you fire that shot, you've crossed the line from protector to potential criminal. Now back to the video. The homeowner fires after the door opens. That's an important detail. He waits until the suspects physically breach the home. That's what it seems like in the video. That to me shows tactical restraint and adds credibility to his decision. But what else could he have done? The homeowner, that is. Was there time to give a verbal command? Now we can't hear what the homeowner's saying. Maybe he was. Could he have shouted, stop, I'm armed, if you come in, I'm going to shoot? Or he could have said, get out, I've called 911. He could have said all those things, and maybe he did. We don't know from the video because we can't hear what the homeowner is saying. Was he on the phone with police already? He could have been on the phone with them. Details like this can strengthen your legal defense, They show that you're not eager to use deadly force. You were trying to avoid it. That's not just good legal practice. That's what I teach as part of having a defensive mindset. One more thing about my book, folks, I like to say a key point I stress is that you need to build a habit of layered defense, which means having a plan before something happens, using lights, locks, alarms as deterrent on your home, training your family on emergency procedures, and having a legal and tactical response prepared ahead of time. Because in that moment of crisis, you're not going to rise to the occasion. You're actually going to fall to your level of training. Also, let's not forget about what happens after that shot. You must be prepared to articulate what you saw, felt, and feared. You'll need to clearly describe the threat and your perception of it. And you should, in my opinion, have an attorney present before you make any statement to the police. You're possibly going to face a grand jury, a criminal trial, or even a civil suit from the attacker's family or estate. And we've said this before, folks, that the best confrontation is one that you avoid or doesn't happen. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but in a lot of cases you have a choice to avoid a confrontation. And if you can't avoid it, you better be able to defend your actions in court. So this case does seem justified on the surface when you watch the short video clip. But in New Jersey, that's not guaranteed. If the suspects were unarmed, prosecutors may ask, why did you fire? Did you try to warn them? Was there another option? The burden may shift to you to prove your actions were reasonable. That's a heavy weight when the adrenaline wears off and the courtroom lights go on. Now, I'm not in agreement with this, folks, and especially in your own home when you're there with your kids and you're trying to defend them, but this is the truth that we have to face in places like New Jersey. Let's talk about mindset. The armed citizen isn't looking for trouble. The real warrior is the one who prepares to avoid bloodshed, not rush toward it. But in that rare moment where there's no other option, when life hangs in the balance, you must be ready. That means knowing your laws, training your mind and body, and making decisions based on skill, not fear. You don't get to pick the moment, but you do get to pick how ready you are when it comes. So, was this homeowner justified? In many states, absolutely. But here in New Jersey, it depends. The law requires more than emotion. It demands articulation and preparation. If you want to get deeper into these topics, folks, consider picking up a copy of my book, Defend Confidently. I'll put a link in the description. It's available on Amazon, as well as information on my online course where we go into much greater detail about use of force, especially in New Jersey, and concealed carry topics. Stay alert, stay trained, and stay safe.